Well, gardening is, of course, good for your soul, but what about your soil? This afternoon, we're here at Attas greenhouse, and we'll show you exactly how to mend and tend to your garden. Well, if you can't tell by the looks of it, spring has officially sprung right here in this greenhouse. Lisa, how are you and the team feeling about this season?
We're so excited. The weather has finally started to cooperate. The plants are blooming. Everything's amazing, and we're just waiting to have people come on in.
That's right, and let us be the first ones to be here. But of course, a lot of times we get so excited about planting, about gardening, that we forget to put the plan in the actual planting. But what are a few tips that we need to consider before we even get to it?
Well, you need to consider the kind of light requirements you have in the area you want to plant. Okay, that would be number one. Yeah, is it shady? Is it sunny? Number two, do you have a water source nearby, somewhere that's going to make it easy for you to care for your plants? Number three, do you want to plant in the ground, or do you want to plant in a pot or a bunch of pots? Those are all things to think about.
Absolutely, and especially when you're talking about having that water source too. I think that's a really good thing that we should consider, is making sure that mending and tending to our garden is something that we're able to keep up with too. So making sure that we're making it easy on ourselves. If we have to run in and out and back and forth to grab these giant jugs and gallons of water, maybe there's a certain kind of plant that we should use instead.
Absolutely. When you're picking your plant, think about, are you going to be vacationing all year long,
right,
or are you going to be home and able to care for them? Both of those things inform the type of decision you're making as far as the type of plant. Do you want succulents, or do you want something that needs a lot of care?
That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
Now what was tip number three?
Tip number three was whether you want to plant in the ground or in a pot. And so that changes what kind of soil you want. If you want potting soil, or do you just want topsoil to mix into the ground? If you're going to plant in the ground, then you want to also put mulch on your list, because that helps keep the moisture in and keep the weeds down.
Having all of these different tips prior to planting is really so helpful, because number one, on top of that, you can start putting together your budget. It's not just about buying the beautiful flowers, but it's the soil. It's making sure we have the mulch to go with it. That was something I learned last season, but I learned it a little bit too late. But it's good to know that, hey, you're not just buying the flowers. There's a lot of different components and elements that you need in order to have a garden.
That's right, so that you can be successful. You can definitely train your buying to whatever your budget is. We can make that work for you all the time, but it's good to have a number in mind when you come out to the garden center, because it's easy to get carried away.
Yeah, very carried away. It's easy to carry all these plants away too, depending on how many hands you have, how many carts. There's so many different colors, such a different variety. What are some of your favorites that you have here?
The begonias are beautiful in those baskets for a shady area. Fuchsia are everybody's favorite. They're just so beautiful. Geraniums look amazing this year, so calibrachoa for sun. All those things are, gosh, it's hard to pick one favorite.
Well, Lisa, I know there's one other thing we do have to keep an eye on before we start planting too. What's that?
The weather. The weather. It is just the end of April, and it's beautiful out. I mean, I think it's in the 70s, but Michigan could have a frost up through mid-May. So that's definitely something to think about and plan accordingly. So maybe give it a couple weeks, but definitely get started on the planning for your planting, and you can start this weekend. We are having our spring open house. You can bring your list and just check it off while you're here.
That's right. We can make sure we grab all the tools that we need. We can start taking different sizes and dimensions of where exactly indoor or outdoor in our house that we have to start planting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things on this list that we got to check before we actually get started in the garden. But of course, again, this weekend, we can ask you more of our questions. And until then, I got to get to planting first.
Yep.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.